Bonjour tout le monde, ça va? Ça bien, merci à tout le monde. Appelez-moi Kaon, s'il vous plaît. Merci. Maintenant, de ma famille, il y a mon mari, Yukihiko, ma fille, Yuri, ma fille, Marie, qui s'appelle Yukiko. J'habitais Belgique, deux fils, Koichi, Goro. Koichi est maintenant mariage, qui s'appelle Yuki-chan. Yuki-chan, très mignon. Et ça, c'est photo d'anniversaire de Goro et Yuri. Oui, oui, oui. OK. Et maintenant, mon maison, il y a très, très mignon Matubi. Сейчас, Ajinatsu, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, Yeah, хорошо. OK. よいしょ。はい。Yes. I was born in Ichinomiya City, Aichi-ken, and I was graduated to the University of Nagoya. I studied architecture, but my studies specially is traditional Japan town planning and townscape and anything. I don't like the technical of architecture. So, but I just lived in Aichi Prefecture. I didn't live in other area. So I hope to live in another city. And I asked my parents. I want to study in another city. And after graduating university, I moved to Tokyo, and I studied more and more for 2 years. And this was the town planning and Japanese traditional city research. And I visited Kawagoe, Shimodate, or Nagano, no, many traditional cities. And I started the work in the city planning in Tokyo. And always my boss always said to me, okay, the Japan will be the change for the reason. One reason is the people is more and more aged. The reason to everything, the world is more and more internet or so the new communications too. And the third, the world, then Japan is more changed as international multilingual globalization and change. So I always listen to the 3 points in the work. And I finished the work, and I married, and I went to the Aichi, the back, and we had a newborn baby. Oh, it's pretty baby. Her name is Yuri. And I just finished the work. I didn't have many. I have nursery, but I didn't have anything. Okay. And I just happened to the lecture of Hippo Family Club in Ichinomiya City. Yes, this is a photo of Sakakibara-san. And I joined the Hippo Family Club lecture, and I listened. It was the first time for me to listen to the martial rhythm and the language acquire rhythm by naturally. I was very amazing. Yes. So I tried to join the Hippo Family Club. Yes. Okay. The first thing, the natural way of language. I was very comfortable because this way of acquaintance is very comfortable and very sophisticated and is so very warm-hearted thing, like very, very human thing. And one just sings the sound. And in the language school, we just listen to the sound exactly, but the baby ways. So for example, the sa, of course, we just listen, we can listen to the sa, but the baby sometimes can't catch the sa. The baby catch the sa is like this, cha. And the more baby is catch the sound like this, ta. Yes. But we grown up, the sound is different. But for the baby, this sound is very continued to each other. And I just listened to the Torakare FFT Kikai, and the sound is the way, the continuous wave, and for example, the sa, if the people cut the beginning of the sa, it just we can listen not sa, we can listen the cha or ta. It's very amazing thing, and I think the sound is very interesting. It's curious, and I found one thing. Okay, yes. Do you know what the picture is? This? Yes, it's very famous picture book. Nantan nontan buranko nosete. Yes, but I sound like that's it. Sa cha ta. This is a picture book for infant. Infant. The picture book is people use always ta ta cha cha. Okay. The name is nontan. Nontan. When the nontan is grown up, he or she is called nonchan. Nonchan. Yes. And when the nonchan is grown up, the nonchan is called like Nozomi-san. Yes. So and Nozomi-san is a sa, nonchan is a cha, but Nozomi-san, when the child is called Nozomi-san, she will try the back, and she can do the homework, and she can do many things by herself. But nonchan or nontan, we think that they need some people's help. But the natural environment, the societies, the people that produce a picture of many things like the babies grown up. I like this system. Yes, so the language must be existed with the grown up, so the babies, children. Okay, next. Yes, how old are you? Yes, so I just happened to watch the TV for the children's TV. This is English TV program, and the TV said, how old are you? Okay, it's very interesting. Okay. Yes, the children show their fingers. Yes, for 2 years or 3 years baby, they just show the fingers. I am 2 years old. I am 3 years old. But we can understand easily what they are on ears. Yes, and yes, a little big. Yes. From 5 years old, the boys just say, they don't use any fingers. They use mouth. 5, 6, 7, by proudly, yes. And yes, from 7 years old, they add the words 7 years old, 8 years old, 19 years old. And finally, yes, 12 years old boys could say, I am 12 years old. Yes, for English-speaking children, they could get the exact sentence by 12 years old. It's a long time, but it doesn't matter because how old are you is not the education. How old are you is just the starting of a conversation. And yes, when I am over 60 years old, so nobody asked me, how old are you? You know. because it's just the starting of a conversation, and we enjoy the conversation. How old are you? 5. How old are you? 9 years old. But when the students grown up at 20 years old, I think nobody. The people is less ask how old are you, but they ask him or her. What's the grade of university? What's the subject you are interested? Change the conversation. But every year, every time, I like this warm conversation, and by the warm conversation, the people can grow up is by by naturally. Yes. Okay. Next. Yes. So when I joined the Hippo Family Club, and after 2 years, the Hippo activity was much changed. Of course, they have sing and dance to the music and play after Hippo story CD, but only 1 hour, very short, and information, and just bye-bye. But like this, imitate the sound, mimics the sound, sing a sound. The activity was much changed. And I so curious to 言葉を歌う。I have never tried to imitate the sound, but so I try to imitate the sound every day. But for that much activity, 顎が痛くなりました。Okay. And I realized myself. I changed myself because I use English Hippo story. But that daytime, just we use Sonoko, only Sonoko and Kabachi. No Odoriki Momonoki, no Ichiro. Yes. So every day, May 15, 1982, like this. And I'm very comfortable with using English, and I found the meaning, and finally I got the passport. Yes, I got the passport finally the first time. And I took my daughter to the United States, and this was Arizona State. It was a family exchange program. And 1991, yes, very old, yes. And that years, the Narita Express finally arrived to Narita Airport. Before, 途中までしかなくって、みんなバスで成田空港に行ってました。はい。So, yeah, the host family was a very nice family, and sometimes a group activity. And there one night is a mochiori dinner. I just say thank you to the other person, and he was so surprised, and he asked me, "Have you ever lived in the United States? Why do you so ask my the questions?" He said, "Because your thank you is American people's thank you." Oh, thank you. Yes. And when I go back to Japan and I talk about my experience to the Hippo Family Club members, they're considering about this very nice happening. And one person said, maybe you use Hippo's stories naturally, and Hippo stories is American English. Oh, I understand. Yes, it's very nice. Yes. And for example, the exchange student to Japan, when they study Japanese in their countries, their thank you is arigato, yes. But there are some people who didn't study Japanese and who came to Japan as a shuro visa, and they catch the thank you is arigato. Yes, this is the Aichi prefix. Now we're direct. Yes. It's very funny, yes, but I'm very comfortable with listen to the arigato from the Peru or Brazil or other countries people, yes. So and the other one is very nice happening. Yes, and this was a church group, and the springtime is Easter season, and there are many guests, and one guest, I think any American people didn't spoke to her. I asked why you were so kind group, but you didn't spoke to her, that lady. And my host mom said, because she's from Mexico, she can speak only Spanish. We can't understand Spanish, so we can't communicate with her. So she's alone. Okay, but at that time I couldn't speak Spanish, but I just imitate the sound of the Spanish. So I try to communicate with the lady, and the husband can understand in English, and I talk about my Hippo stories little, and like this, I just speak to Spanish. Ay, 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 canta no llore. And she's eyes watch me. Yes. And the next, ambo, atomata, rire, rire, rire. And she watched me again. And finally, I just spoke to the Janet's letter, Carter's letter. 15 de mayo de 1982, querida Sonoko, Anna Sonoko, soy Janet Brown. And she considered, huh? You are Janet? Huh? You are 12 years old. You don't like this, but and yes, my family members, my dad, my mom, my older sister, older brother, they're like this. And tenemos vacas, caballos, corderos, cerdos, pollos, gatos, y un perro. And the lady was smiled and smiled and smiled. And finally, when I finished the story, she's so well, she's so smile, with a big smile, and we made friends. Yes, yes. It was just a very nice experience. Okay. Next. Yes, for like this, after the kotoba utau, the activity, the change, the Hippofami club, I had a very, very interesting thing because the kotoba utau, when people try to kotoba utau, people try to speak something and people try to meet other people in the world, and we grown up, had better join this circle. As the people who enjoy the kotoba utau, it started, and people who wants to see some people, okay, please see and talk with people. But the hippo, not only communicate with guest, but also always sing a song. It's very nice circulation system to make the advance of language and the experience of the people communication. So I like, and it's not fire, always continue and continue. Yes, and I started to visit other countries with my children. Yes, okay, yes. The Thai. Okay. สวัสดีค่ะสวัสดีละกาสวัสดีฉันชื่อฮัตจิฮัตนุกาชื่อเล่นชื่อคังวงกาเรียกฉันว่าคังวงกากากาขอบคุณมากค่ะ I went to the Thailand for family exchange, but my host family English teacher. Yes, communication 文字が없어. Okay. And the next time, I took the Hippo youth to Thailand as a group fellow. But my host family is Japanese teacher. No problem. Okay. I try to use my a little Thailand language to the people, and I try to communicate to the dialect. Okay. So the third visit, like this. This is a country area of Thailand. There is no hospital, no doctor, only ちっちゃいお店が一軒あるだけのすごい田舎です。はい。This is my friend's homeland. Yes. So every day the cooking is so hot. อาหารไทยอร่อยมากわけはペーペーということでマジ辛いのでいつも、ここに連れてきてくれたチャイパンさんは私たちのために半分辛くない料理をいつも作ってくれていました。The right photo is like cooking time. Yes, it's wild. It's so interesting. And almost people can speak only Thai language. So I try to communicate with people with Thai language, and I use everything I cut from the Hippo CD. Okay, I try to use the color. อะไรสีแดงอะไรสีขาว like this, and คุณพ่อเนี่ย every day คุณพ่อกินข้าวคุณพ่อdad let's eat together like this. So I try to use many many Thai language. And the Thai people is so adapted, adapted to me, even in the first time. So I was very, very happy with these people. And they all said to me, okay, come on, please come to here next time. Okay, I promise, but I didn't decided to next visit. Okay. And yes. 目から鱗のロシア。Yes. I visited many countries as a group fellow or family exchange, but I didn't visit one country. This is Russia. Because my relative, 親戚, my relative uncle was died in Siberia. So I was not interested in Russia. But when I tried to be a group fellow at the new country, I found what country I have never visited, and that country, Russia. Yes. Okay, I decided. Okay. But before I decided to go to Russia, my family's members so visited Russia, youth and family. They always said, Russia is хорошо, Russia is fantastic. Okay, I try to do the same experience. And the first as a group around with 30 children. Yes, and Usurisk, the city of Usurisk, Riet, yes, очень хорошо. And so nice experience because my first host family, Oksana, her parents lived near. So every day we visited to the parents' house. Papa, Mama, dress beach. And Papa, Mama, говорить, develop jelly, Katja, давай кушай, давай пить, Katja, это картошка, это огурец, это помидор, да, хорошо. という感じで、so the parents, so it's good hospitality, even me. I'm very, very comfortable, yes. And this program is finished. I try to visit Russia again, and 6 months later, now the Holland and Russia. Go Khabarovsk. My host Семья Илья очень хорошо. Илья говорит, японский много. Нет проблем. Oui, да. Смотрите, это Америка, очень холодно, голодно, пешком. どこまで行っても大丈夫? Это очень большой, хорошо, Lucy. Yeah. And when I go back to Japan, and I want to go back to Russia. And I found a new program, WIP program. It's very nice. Please join the WIP program. But now the самолета нет. But it's very nice. So I went to Harvard to help the Japanese education, and I went to the Moscow by alone. It's very hard for me, but it's very nice experience. And I went to the Krasnodar and Taganrog and Gelendzhik, and I always talk about the Japanese culture and the Japanese language, Japanese history to the students. And Russian students, very nice, very comfortable, very warm-hearted. So now my house is один Russia boy. Yeah. Okay, next. Yes. So now we sacrifice Corona COVID-19. So sometimes the family close and we use Zoom, or sometimes open the family. So everything. So I'm very, very sorry to hear that, but we try to make the new multilingual activities, new world to the future, because there are many children, there are many young families. So we try to open the new next door to with Hippo, and curiosity and energy and hope and many things included the Hippo Family Club. Yes, I think so. So, and at first I try to the new possibility is, okay, the short program for guests, it's stop, but longer program is continue. Okay, I will try to accept the in Japan, yes, and Madhuri came home. And next, I try to, yes, I try to communicate with the families, people, and we try to find the many things with family people. Yes, but it is continue. Yes, it is continue, and every day, every week, to make the family, we continue to seek what's the best way to make the multilingual environment. Yes. Okay. Thank you, people. Yes, I love you. Okay. Next. Yes. From this now, I talk about my 3 children. Yes. Yes. We joined the Hippo Family Club 30 years ago. So every children was grown up. Yes, not children. Yes. Okay, the first I talk about my daughter. Her name is Yuri. Now she is lives in Belgium. Belgium is a French language area. So her husband Kaigai Fuji, and they lived in Belgium, Brussels for 3 years. Yes, and this was the photo we visited. We visited her apartment. It's so beautiful. Yes. And yes, so she's visa is housewife visa, so she couldn't work. Brussels. Only she could be a student in Gogaku Gakko. Yes, but first she tried to enter the Gogaku Gakko, and she tried to make the friends. And yes, she had made good friends with Taiwan mother, and yes, now the Belgian mother. Yes, and it's very hard to live in other countries. She has a so big program with inside physical inside. She always go to the hospital, yes, and she got operation. Yes, she did operation, and we are very worried about her. But for that thing, so every time she asks the doctor about her body, her physical condition, and the doctor answer her in French, only French. And finally, she could use French language very well. And the doctor, you are Japanese, but your French is very good. Yes. So now she is support. She is a volunteer of support to take the other Japanese people to the hospital. Yes. So next, yes, May. She will come to my home, Ichiji Kikoku. Yes, I'm very happy to see the real daughter. Yes. Okay. Next. Yes. Chonan. His name is Koichi. Yes. He visits exchange program, youth exchange program, Korea, America, Malaysia, Thailand. But he didn't join the year-long program because he didn't like study. He likes sports. Yes, but always my family enjoys the Hippo Family Club activities. So his inside is like the multilingual person. Yes. So for example, when he decided the marriage with Yuki-chan, he planning. Okay, we will invite Uzbekistan Oni-chan, Muhani-chan, and I want to introduce my Oksan to Muhani-chan by naturally, yes. And also, when he was a junior high school student, my house had the one in Japan from Germany, and their age is so similar, and he has another sister, Juliana. Yes, so it's very natural, and not only language, but also his work is always adapt a new work in his company. He had experience to Chicago. He had experience to visit Germany and many things. But he adapted many work naturally, and he solved as his will. Yes. Okay. Next. Yes, Gina. His name is Goro. I think many people understand Goro, and today I show you one of the very memorial photo. Okay, yeah, this one. He is 12 years old. He is the first grade in junior high school. He went to America, but he went to Washington State. His first host family was a real American family, but the host sick and went to hospital. Yeah, as Azuma, Zensoku. Yes, because my guru has Azuma too. So 4H combined matching. Okay, Azuma Japanese boy to Azuma American boy. Okay, good matching because the mother is understand what's the emergency for Azuma. But this is real emergency. So he changed his host family, even he's 12 years old, from Washington to Ohio by car, about 7 hours drive. He was taken to the new host family. He didn't understand any information about the new host family. And he joined this family is like this. Wow, is this American? Well, yes, this family is from Mexican-American family. Yes, inside they spoke Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo está? Mi comer, like this. So, but at first, he understand this family didn't use English. But I know this sound. This is hippo sound. Yes. So he didn't travel anymore. And every day is like good emotional. Yes, so he enjoys these families, and he very interested in Spanish because people is very interested, and he interested in the languages. And when he was 12 years old, and when he go back to Japan, and he hoped to study abroad in year-long program, but he hoped to live in this host family, but it didn't do. And but he always hoped to speak Spanish. Yes, and finally he went to the Mexico when he was a university student. Yes, he tried to imitate the sound every day before he went to Mexico, and finally he almost imitates the Ichiro story. Yes, and when he arrived in Mexico, only 1 month, he could use Spanish language. And this program was a WIP program, and he hoped to be a volunteer for the handicapped people, and he thought if I couldn't use the Spanish, I couldn't be a good volunteer. So I must listen the story and imitate the sound before I left Japan. Yes, it's good thinking. Oh, finally, you so good man. Yes, mother is very happy. Yes. And university, he researched the human being needs the demonstration robot. Yes, and he he joined the international 学会, 国際学会 in Poland, and the international 学会, there are many professors and students all over the world. And when he catches the sound of Spanish, he talked to the group. Hello, hola, ¿cómo está? Yo me llamo Goro Hatano, mucho gusto, like this. And the professor said, ¿Por qué tú hablas español, japonesa? Goro said, because I'm the club of Hippo family class. So now, I introduce my professor to you, okay, like this. And he introduced other professor to his professor. And when he visited Thailand as a support with other students, and he think Thailand, we have many friends in Thailand, and he called one teacher. Before not teacher, he was a student in Japan, and so he introduced new Thailand teacher to the Japanese teacher. Yes, so like this communication. Now he last April he started work in Yokohama, and the working style is telework, and every day he talk with the people. Japan and India and Germany and China, and almost talk to people, to the Indian people. Yes, and he said Indian English is very hard, Chinese English very hard. The most hard English is Japanese English. Why you think so? Because Japanese English is not hiratai. Hiratai. So I can't catch the sound melody. It's very hard. But the speaker is my Georgie, like this. But he did, yes, he does his work naturally. Yes. Okay. I like this one. Okay. Next. Yes. Finally, Ginjo-san, my husband. Yes. He was technical engineering developing designer in electricity area, and the most best work of he did is truck hybrid engine system. His group changed many things. Now the Japan, the truck and car is more or less CO2, and his group contributed to less CO2 with the truck engine. Yes. When the children were small, he always said to the Yamato no Takyubin no truck, look, this engine is my otosan designed. Otosan kakkoi, like this. Yes. Okay. And he retired, and the man, when he retired, every day he's silent. He can't speak. He can't speak to anyone, because the company retires. The people always stop to communicate with other people. So it's not good. Not good. Okay, Ginjo-san, let's go to the hippo. Okay, yes. Every week I took Ginjo-san to the hippo family club, and not only hippo family club, but also my children always gone to other areas. So let's try to have the year long. Yes, in Japan. Yes, like this. The old days, 15 years ago, we had one German girl, but he was so busy working, and he didn't talk with him good. But now, like this, the photo, please photo. The Indonesian echo. He's an exchange student from government. He's from Indonesia. He likes fish. Yes. So when Ginjo-san came to home with many fish, the echo is very glad. Yes. And now Matvi. Yes. So Matvi, yes, very, very nice boy. Yes. So every day he enjoys Matvi's communication. Yes. And we have sometimes visit other countries with family exchange program, and France, Germany, yes, Korea, and yes. Do you know one blue flag with 4 stars flag? Do you know what country? I think many people not know. Yes, this is Micronesia flag. Yes, about 20 years ago, there was an exchange program, family program with Micronesian family exchange. To go to Micronesia, first from Narita to Guam, and one day night, one stay, and the next day from Guam to Micronesia. It's very long time to visit this area. It's the country, no, island. It's very small, but it's very, very human being and natural way of life. Yes, it's very good experience for Ginjo-san. Yes, so like this. So for 30 years, we had many experience, not only me, but also children and my husband, Ginjo-san. And we had many experience with people, the language, and many things. I love this environment, and try to continue to from yes for long time. Yes. Okay. So the final I talk about Matvi. Okay. ではここから日本語で。はい。マトビー君は、10月に成田に着きまして、もうそれも2ヶ月遅れですね。その間、メールとか、ズームでちょっと連絡を取り合いながら、はい、成田に行きまして、2週間待機した後で、新幹線に乗って、我が家にやってきたわけですね。はい。で、ですね、まだ15歳なんです。でもうコロナの中よく来たねって思って、でどうして15歳で来たの？まだね、本当にイメージだけで日本に来てしまってたので、あまり日本のこと知らなかったので、どうして15歳で来たのって言ったら、ロシアでは兵役制度があるから、そのタイミングをうまくずらさないと来えないって言われて、だから来るなら今しかないと思って、どうしても来たかったって。で、今日本に来ているインジャパン生の子は、かなりどうしても来たかった子だけが残っている状況を感じます。ベルちゃんもそうですよね。この年を逃すともう来年大学生だから入れないとかね。まあ、本当にそういう気持ちのある子たちがこの中をくぐって来てくれたんだなって思ったんですけど、気持ちだけはあるんですけど、ヒッポの子たちのように何にも準備しないで来るんですね。だから美しい調査票ね、日本語で書いて美しい調査票はもらうんですけど、実際は全然喋れないわけなんですよ。はい。まあ、そういうギャップをちょっと驚きながらですね、まあ始まっていったんですけども、やっぱり私が3回ロシアの経験をしていることもまああって、彼のロシアらしい振る舞い、自分の主張がはっきりしてるとか、食べたくないものは絶対食べないとか、時々妙にイエスさんみたいに柔軟になってみるとか、嬉しい、本当不思議なんですよ。あんなに言うこと聞かないのに、なぜか上に上がってもいいですかって、そこ許可求めるかみたいな不思議なことをするロシアの子ですね。あと、嬉しいとうらーってすごい叫んでます。はい。などロシアらしい部分をいっぱい家の中では見せてもらっているんですけど、やっぱり今コロナということで思うように出かけれないですね。特に緊急事態宣言がある東京に来ている子たちはやっぱすごい大変なんですね。家族同士が煮詰まってしまうという表現がね、あるんですね。で、それを防ぐために そう、新しいことを一緒にやるっていいなと思って、で、ちょっと愛知県も緩くなった時に、名古屋城に行こうとか、犬山城に行こうとか、ちょっと東海北陸道に乗って、岐阜の美濃の町に行こうと。これ全部私が好きなところですね。彼の好みは聞いてません。私が好きなところにも連れてって、私が好きに、この襖絵はすごいだろうとか、この柱はすごく高いんだぞとか、高校生にしたらどうでもいい話ばっかりをするんですけど、はい。まあ、そうやってるうちに、実は彼は名古屋城の本丸御殿を見て、最後にこう言ったんですね。キラキラした襖絵もいいけど、僕は一番奥にある渋い襖絵の方がいいって言い出したんですよ。おー、来たと思って、ああ、こっちの方がやっぱナチュラルでいいと思うんだ。じゃあ、あんたなんかエカテリーナ宮殿とかいっぱい見てるけど、あ、そうなんだ。ナチュラルの方がいいんだっていうのがちょっと分かりまして、次に犬山城に連れてったら、名古屋城より犬山城の方がいいってまた言い出したんですね。自然の中にあってとてもいいとか言い出したんですよ。で、そういうところを見ると、やっぱりそういう感性をちゃんと持ってて、そういう場に出れば、そういうものを出してくれるんだなっていうところですごく安心して、で、会話が増える。そうすると、日本語も使うチャンスが増えるっていうことで、ちょうど来て4ヶ月ぐらいでしたかね。うん。急に日本語を使ってつなぐようにして話すようになるんですよ。急に。まだガタガタしてるんですけど、止めないんですよ。何々とかでとか言いながら、どんどんどんどんつないでいく。で、時たま自分の口で、行きません、行きます、行きたくない、行くとかなんかね、自分でね、どれ使おうかななんて感じで、自分の口を使って喋ってて、で、どれが正しいとか言ってね、私に聞いたりして、だんだん自助努力って言いますかね、していくんですけど、そういうことぐらいになってきますと、例えば学校生活でも、ラグビー、彼はもう、がたいがいいものですから、やったことがないスポーツをしたい。ロシアでも柔道やってたんですね。で、彼が行ってる高校は柔道部がないんです。代わりにラグビー部がありましたので、ラグビーやりだして、で、なんと先生に折を試合に使ってくれって交渉して、ユニフォーム買ったんですよ。で、来週ね、本当に試合があるらしいんです。ちょっと先生に聞いて、どこの大学のキャンパスでやるか聞いて、応援に行きたいなって思っているんですけど、ちょうどそういう時と並行して、ロシア語はね、ヒップの中にあって、最初聞かしたんですけど、早すぎて分かんない。早すぎてついていけないって言って、最初そっぽ向いてたんですけど、3ヶ月ぐらいしたら、やっぱ真似できるようになってきたんですね。最近本当に真似が上手くなってきて、ちょっとマトビア、あなた生メタでいけるんじゃないとか言って、いやいやいや、無理です、無理です言うけど、私たちが勝手に、ジュルダンターバスって言うと勝手にすこいかって向こうから言い出すんですね。そうするともうなんか波がつかめて、ずっと歌ってったりとか。で、ひらがなをちょっとね、なんか読み出しましてね、で、カタカナどうよって言うと、カタカナはまだ無理ですとか言うけど、なんかそういったものが、いきなり全体として始まっていく感じで、どれもきっちり正しいわけではないんですけど、なんか使いながら、だんだんこれでいいかな、どうかなっていうのを感じている様子がすごく面白いです。そして彼は4月から2年生になるんですね。で、彼が行っている高校は国際コースがあって、彼はそこでお世話になっているんですけど、そこの子たちは2年生になると、第二外国語っていうのを選択するんですね。で、中国語か韓国語か、フランス語かっていうことを選択するんですけど、マトビどれにしたのって言ったらね、いや、だって漢字読めないし、韓国語も読めないから、もちろんフランス語ですとか言うんですよ。分かった分かった。じゃあ、最初のさ、先生とさ、会った時にさ、ボンジュー、ジマペールマトビって言おうよって言ったら、ボンジュー、ジマペールマトビですって、ですまでつけちゃったんですよ、彼は。もうすっかり日本人になってきてて、そのですがすごい可愛くって、本当に最近可愛いなって思うことが、体はますますがたいが良くなってて、こんなにがたい良くして私はモスクワにお貸しするんだなって感じがしているんですけども、だんだんこう接点がすごく増えだしてます。いろんなことを楽しめる接点が増えだして楽しんでいるので、この4月からのもう本当この1学期、どれぐらいまた彼の成長も、私たちが楽しめるかなって思っているところです。それで私と銀城さんは役割が違いまして、今までも インジャパン生を受けるときは役割が違うんですけど、私はどうしても宿題はやったのとか、弁当箱は洗ったのかとか、私はどうしてもそういうことを聞かなきゃいけない立場なので、めんどくさい役になるんですね。で、銀城さんはどうしたのって、って、僕英語喋れないよっていう顔をして、ずっと日本語で聞く役なので、何が起きるかって言ったら、私には英語で喋るんですけど、銀城さんには日本語で話すっていうインジャパン生がやっぱりいっぱいみんなそうなっていっちゃうんですよ。で、そうこうしてるうちに日本が上手くなって、私にも日本語で話すっていう風になっていくっていうことで、本当に銀城さんの存在は、我が家をインジャパン生がいても丸く収めていただけるというところで、本当に私の無茶ぶりなこの受け入れに対しても文句一つ言わずやってくださっているので、本当に感謝ということです。はい、またしばらくお願いします。はい、だいたいこんなところで今日のお話を終わります。Thank you very much for listening to my stories of Hippo Family Club. I appreciate you and I hope your Hippo experience or your communicate with people makes a much warm-hearted world to the future. I hope so. Thank you very much. Merci. はい、ありがとうございました。